Welcome to Neilist Narrates, The Hunting of the Snark by Lewis Carroll. Fit the Second, The Bellman's Speech. The bellman himself they all praise to the skies. Such a carriage, such ease and such grace, such solemnity too. One could see he was wise, the moment one looked in his face. He had brought a large map representing the sea, without the least vestige of land, and the crew were much pleased that they found it to be a map they could all understand. What's the good of a Mercator's North Poles and Equators, tropics, zones, and meridian lines? So the bellman would cry, and the crew would reply, they are merely conventional signs. Other maps are such shapes, with their islands and capes. But we've got our brave captain to thank, so the crew would protest, that he's brought us the best, a perfect and absolute blank. This was charming, no doubt, but they shortly found out that the captain they trusted so well had only one notion for crossing the ocean, and that was to tingle his bell. He was thoughtful and grave, but the orders he gave were enough to bewilder a crew, when he cried, "Steer to starboard, but keep her head larboard." What on earth was the helmsman to do? Then the bowsprit got mixed in the rudder sometimes, a thing, as a bellman remarked, that frequently happens in tropical climes, when a vessel is, so to speak, snarked. But the principal failing occurred in the sailing, and the bellman, perplexed and distressed, said he had hoped, at least, when the wind blew due east, that the ship would not travel due west. But the danger was past. They had landed at last, with their boxes, portmanteaus, and bags. Yet at first sight the crew were not pleased with the view, which consisted to chasms and crags. The bellman perceived that their spirits were low, and repeated in musical tone some jokes he had kept for a season of woe, but the crew would do nothing but groan. He served out some grog with a liberal hand, and bade them sit down on the beach, and they could not but own that their captain looked grand, and he stood and delivered his speech. "Friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears!" They were all of them fond of quotations, so they drank to his health, and they gave him 3 cheers, while he served out additional rations. "We have sailed many months, we have sailed many weeks, 4 weeks to the month, you may mark, but never as yet, 'tis your captain who speaks, have we caught the least glimpse of a snark. We have sailed many weeks, we have sailed many days, 7 days to the week I allow, but a snark on which we might lovingly gaze, we have never beheld till now. Come, listen, my men, while I tell you again the 5 unmistakable marks, by which you may know, wheresoever you go, the warranted, genuine snarks. Let us take them in order. The first is the taste, which is meager and hollow, but crisp, like a coat that is rather too tight in the waist, with a flavor of a will-o'-wisp. Its habit of getting up late, you'll agree that it carries too far when I say that it frequently breakfasts at 5 o'clock tea and dines on the following day. The third is its slowness in taking a jest. Should you happen to venture on one, it will sigh like a thing that is deeply depressed, and it always looks grave at a pun. The fourth is the fondness for bathing machines, which it constantly carries about, and believes that they add to the beauty of scenes, a sentiment open to doubt. The fifth is ambition. It next will be right to describe each particular batch, distinguishing those that have feathers and bite from those that have whiskers and scratch. For, although common snarks do no manner of harm, yet I feel it my duty to say, some are boojums. The bellman broke off in alarm, for the baker had fainted away. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Watch out soon for the next part of this odd tale. See you next time.